Um, Hello. Today I want to show you how to paint on Mungyo or Mungyo oil pastel paper with oil pastels. And so this is actually the paper that I'm using, and it's uh, it's actually pretty thin, so it's not really that thick, but it's only you see 160 grams, but it's basically dark, so it's really dark paper. Mostly it's a pad, 9 by 12, a little bit less than 9 by 12 inches. And the trick to paint on a dark or medium value pastel paper or just cardboard, any support, is that you need to put down really light values to achieve the contrast that you need. So I just want to show you how to do it faster, and the trick is to I'll just this is Sennelier. I do a small drawing, like just the apple. And the trick is to put some turp, just a bit, very thin layer of turp on the paper. And this kind of paper actually accepts turp really well. And then you just start painting with oil pastels, maybe just a bit more of the turp. Just a little bit more. And then you just it makes everything go really smooth. You see, I'm using the finger, but you can use the brush. So this is kind of medium value color, but you can use darker. I'm using just brown here, but you can use a bit of purple. Yeah, like this, a bit of purple. Let's say brown and purple brown. I really like this purple brown. And when you have this a bit of turp on the paper, it's the pastel really blends really well, really much better than if you just put it on the dry paper. Okay, so for the lights here, I start with yellow. It's a little bit light, but it's okay. It's okay because it's much better to paint with lighter values. Start with lighter values, especially on this is not really dark. This is kind of medium brown paper. But if you start with yellow like this, okay, then you can always add red. I'm adding red. I don't have really strong light here in my studio, so I can tell that we don't really need very strong light here on in the painting. I'm adding more yellow. Also keep in mind that you see I'm blending In fact, I'm blending two layers, two colors and two layers, red and yellow. And the problem, as I already told in my previous videos, is the problem is that the usual paper like this, without any tooth, cannot accept more than one layer. And so this is the main problem. The shadow is somewhere here, in fact. So the light goes from the window, and a little bit from the lamp to the right, and from the window to the left. So I have like two sources of light. So I'm still adding yellow, but the brilliance, you know, when I'm using this medium value yellow on darker, on already the darker spot that I put down these colors like brown and a bit of magenta. So the you see there is no yellow color, in fact, because the paper doesn't accept, because it's a light value color, and I put it on the dark value, and it's not working really well. And this is kind of a problem with oil pastels. So this is the reason you start with light, really light values. Okay, there should be sorry, there should be a small I'll add more taupe here, like this. So there should be a small shadow. This one small shadow here, and I'm adding more light, especially to this part on the left. And I'm blending this red a little bit into the yellow, like this, and it works really well. Okay. More red here. Actually, I'm painting wet in wet now, so it's really a little bit. This is kind of a pink red, and I'm adding it here as a Then I think that I need to add a bit of really light kind of orange, and I press the pastels a little bit harder here. Maybe I just add some kind of highlights. It's a little bit okay. I'm adding a bit of purple. Actually, I think that I need to add some darker colors here. Soften them a little bit like this. And so I'm adding color here because I think that it looks really more saturated this way. There is very little reflected light, so you should be very careful with this light because it's very subtle in the shadow, very subtle. So what else? Let's see. And I think that I will add more kind of, more kind of orange here, just to make it more. So you see that oil pastels actually blend really well with each other, but on this kind of paper I cannot paint, I cannot add lots of layers, but well, basically some brown in the shadow, yellow, like this yellow, like this yellow, yeah, and just some shades of different shades of red. So I think, yes, this is it. Just so remember to start with lighter values. It will help you a lot painting on medium and a dark paper rather than dark values. Working like in oil pastels from light to dark, from light to dark. Okay, yeah, a little bit like this. Okay, thank you. See you next time. Bye bye.